Hello, I'm Mad, from the Angry Virgins. I'm mostly making this video for friends, but thanks for tuning in even if you're not. Today, I'm gonna teach you about Minecraft 1.14 commands. Cause since 1.13 commands were tweaked a bit, so it's nice to have some clarity as to how the new ones work. I'm only really knowledgeable enough to teach you about intermediate use of command blocks, and I'm only credible enough to teach myself, but still, I hope you guys can take away some awesome stuff from this. I currently have 3 episodes planned, so stay tuned. This episode will cover the basics, commands, what they are, and how to use a few simple ones. This is going to be boring for most experienced players, so if you don't need to learn anything that you can see on the screen right now, you can skip this entire video. So, commands. There are these little strings or bits of text that you can enter in the game that can change things. They create shortcuts or provide otherwise impossible things. Each command follows the same format. Enter a / and then type out the command. In this episode, I'm just going to teach the most basic commands most people tend to use a lot, and those are the /gamemode, TP, help, and give commands. First of all, to use commands, be sure that in your world, cheats are enabled. If you didn't set that beforehand, simply pause the game, hit open to land, and enable cheats in the world. Let's start with something simple. The game mode command. It allows you to change your game mode, obviously. Just enter a / the word game mode, and the space, and then your desired setting. So, I'm in creative mode right now, but let's say I wanted to switch to survival. I could do /game mode survival, and poof, I'm in survival mode. Yay! Okay, now how about if I want to change back? Well, you just enter /game mode, then /game mode creative to switch to creative mode, and now I'm back in creative mode. Easy, simple. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the teleport command, or /TP. You see, instead of having to traverse all my way to that faraway village over there, I could just use TP to warp me all the way over there instantly. The format for this command is seen in this command block over here. It's /TP, and I will explain this entire thing slow and steady for you. So, it's /TP for the command first, and these things that you see right now. All of these weird little indicators are targets, your designated, selected player or entity or anything that you want this command to work on. In this case, @P would mean nearest player, or for most people, themselves. So I will do /TP @P, or myself, to these specific numbers. These numbers that you see here are 3 coordinates. And if you don't know, coordinates are positions that you're located at in the X, Y, and Z axis. That's slightly complicated stuff that I'll be teaching in a bonus episode, but all you have to know for now is 73 is X, 4 is Y, and 267 is Z. Those coordinates will get me all the way to the village in one simple enter. Boom. In one command, I have officially moved myself from my little spawn area over there to this humble little village. Moving on, we have the help command. The help command is your go-to command for figuring out basically everything else. Just type in /help, enter, and bam. You get this whole really long bit of chicken scratch. It's just the help menu for commands. It details every command and what they do. I will teach you how to read the help menu in a bonus video, but the /help command is important for you to get started on learning other commands and all the different types of functions they have in the game. And lastly, we have arrived at the final command I'm going to teach you today, which is /give. The give command grants any player their desired item from within the game. So it can give you basic stuff like this diamond, or something complicated like this epic sword. So I'm going to teach you very basic first. The command works like this. /give the selector, which in this case will again be @p for myself, and then whichever item you want it to be. In this case, I'll just give myself a simple diamond. 1 diamond. Now I have 2 diamonds in my inventory. So let's say now, after giving myself an item, I want to give myself multiple items. So I'll put in /give selector myself another diamond, but in this case I want more than one. I don't want just 2 diamonds in my inventory, and I don't want to have to shuffle through just the same command over and over and over until I get all the diamonds I want. No, 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 no. That's not what I want. Instead, how about I just give myself an entire stack of diamonds right now? Well, what you do is the same command, except now you have a space and the number or quantity of that item that you want. In this case, I want a full stack. Boom. Now I have a full stack of diamonds in my inventory. Yay. So, moving on is going to be a little bit complicated. So, I'll try and break this down for you as easily as possible. That was the basic give command that you'd use probably to give yourself, let's say, if you're in a survival world, you could give yourself some food, like some cooked beef, you know, some 16 cooked beef. But let's just say you want to give yourself a custom item that you can't normally easily get from the creative menu. So, what I mean is, if I were to give myself a diamond and I want to have a specific name, normally I'd use an anvil for that, but no. Now you can use a command. So, here is the format for naming an item. So let's just say I want to name this diamond Shiny! So now I have this little bunch of text, which basically will give me a diamond with the name Shiny. Boom. Take note that this will also work for if you want to have, let's say, another diamond, but it has a name with a space. You could still use this format and it'll work even with names with spaces. So no need to worry about that in case you were wondering. Some people might be wondering. Anyway, just remember when you enter the display or when you try and name your item, you're gonna follow this specific format. You get display, name, and these squiggly brackets. So these squiggly brackets are just signals for an NBT tag, which once again I'll explain in another video, but for now you just have to know that when you open one bracket you have to close it at another end. I have 2 of these brackets in my formula, so I have 2 closing brackets at the end. So I just taught you how to name items, but how about enchanting them? For example, this epic sword has an enchantment of sharpness 10. You can't normally get that. The highest that you can get with an enchanted book is sharpness 5, and in a regular survival setting, there's no way you can find that. So, how would you give yourself this sword? Well, let's just start with the give command, shall we? It follows this specific format, which unfortunately you have to remember. So what I'm doing now is this tag, which is enchantments. It's going to give me an enchantment of ID, which is the type of enchantment. So I want a sharpness enchantment on this diamond, or you know what, let's make it a sword, more appropriate. A diamond sword with sharpness level 1. This is the format that you have to follow, and take note. There you go, that's my sword. If you make a single mistake in the capitalization or the input of your command, it's gonna mess up everything. So this had a single capitalization of difference, yet the actual item that came out didn't have the proper sharpness enchantment, and that sucks. Just remember that when you're doing this command, you're gonna have to follow this specific format. And never forget, when you have these brackets, you better be sure to close them at the end. I have these two squiggly ones and that one square one. It opens squiggly, square, squiggly, and ends squiggly, square, squiggly. Always remember that when you enter these things. So as you can see, I now have enchanted diamond swords and named diamonds. But what about this epic sword with an enchantment and a name? I'm going to teach you how to make that right now with the give command. Once again, oh boy, what fun. So you do the same thing that you did with the name. So I'm going to name this, for example, epic sword. I'm going to teach you how I made this really legendary epic sword. So you close it in the same way that you did earlier, but you don't finish. First you do display name epic sword, but we'll create a divide with a single comma. And that'll lead to the same enchantments thing that we did earlier. So the epic sword had an ID of sharpness and a level of 10. So now that I've done this entire thing, you can take a look at how the command works, or how the format looks like. So you'll have this diamond sword. I'm giving myself a diamond sword with a name, epic sword, and the enchantment ID sharpness level 10. Boom. A duplicate epic sword. There you go. Now you know how to give yourself stuff. Congratulations, pat yourself on the back, because this lesson is officially complete. So I know that most players by now would find this video not super helpful, but it is still a nice recap to ready yourself for the coming episodes. With that said, if you want to learn how to use command blocks in more advanced settings, I will teach that soon, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new, and yeah, see ya.